Game 3, round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Toronto Maple Leafs won it in OT 4-3 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was an incredibly late bedtime for me, and I had work this morning. I have work this morning. That's where I am right now. Guys, I'm using my break to film this. I hope you all know how much I love you. So the Leafs were off to a great start last night. Achari scored first just a few minutes into the game. However, Cirelli responded pretty quickly and the game was tied up, which kind of summed up how the game went for the majority. It was very even. It was really different from the first two games in that there was no blowouts at all. It was so much tighter. I had a sneaking suspicion, and I said to my mum yesterday, I was like, this is the one game that the next morning I have to be up really early after. I really hope it doesn't go to overtime tonight, and I have a feeling it's going to. And guess what? Unfortunately, I was correct. However, not unfortunately, because if it's a win, I will take it. I will lose out on sleep entirely for Leafs wins. Anyway, then Austin Matthews with his first postseason goal this year. He was, I would argue, the best player last night, aside from the fact he spent 9 minutes off the ice, which we'll get to. But Austin hits one home and I am so happy. I'm so damn happy because, as probably most of you know, I am the biggest Austin Matthews fan. I have a 34 tattoo and everything. I am very dedicated to the cause. And then the Leafs are on the PK. However, Justin Hall, I don't know who woke up Justin Hall yesterday, but he was hella good. He went for a shorty on the PK, and I'm going to try and find here a screenshot, a still image of him crashing into Vasilevsky. Not his fault. Not with bad intent. However, it was so funny because obviously, I mean, Justin Hall, he's a solid enough guy. However, he crashes into Vasilevsky and it was actually like he just ran into a brick wall. Vasilevsky didn't even flinch. That man truly is a wall. However, he is not an impenetrable wall because the Leafs can actually get some past him. And then we had the goal that went in. The Tampa goal that went in, I should say. The goal that did cross the line. I didn't want it to cross the line, but unfortunately it did. Obviously there was the other goal which did also go in, but the whistle had been blown and Tampa did not get that one, and of course that changed the trajectory of the game. So anyway, first period done, slower second, and ends up 3-2 Tampa. I also didn't love that kind of dumb penalty that Lafferty took. When you're within one against the Lightning, you should probably try and avoid taking like avoidable penalties. There's only so much you can avoid, but don't do things that are outright stupid, Michael Bunting style, you know? Like, we don't need that. And then even more so changing the trajectory was the collision between Morgan Rielly and Braden Point, and it looked nasty, Point going into the boards like that, but there was no bad intent from Rielly. He didn't do anything, and obviously there was no penalty given, which was the correct call. But it's never nice to see a player get hurt, although I was glad to see that he was back out on the ice, so clearly he is okay, which is obviously great. However, this did seem to really like add some energy into the game because we'd kind of slowed down, let's be honest. Like, the game had slowed down a little bit, and I'm sitting there thinking it's getting so late, just win and let me go to bed, or lose and let me go to bed, because as I will also get to, how the Leafs won that last night, I have no idea. Anyway, following the Rielly and Point collision, there was a mini brawl, I suppose, and Austin Matthews had his first NHL career fight, which I just sat there with my mouth open because on the one hand, I was so excited because, like, everyone wants to see Austin fight, to be honest. However, on the other hand, I'm thinking he gets hurt or gets put off the ice for too long, there could be bad consequences. Did not see that one coming. That was not on my bingo card for last night. But anyway, following that, there was 9 minutes of play without Austin Matthews because he got a 5-minute major, and then there was no whistle. There was literally no whistle for like 4 and a 4 minutes something. No whistle at all. It was just flowing in. It was crazy. And it's annoying that we didn't have Austin on the ice for that, and I really thought that it might have cost us it, because as I said, out of the core, Austin was definitely the best player last night. The game before, it was definitely Tavares that was the best. I would have said Nylander was the best in game 1. However, last night I did see particularly Nylander and Marner to an extent weren't at their usual game, and Austin was the one who was standing out, so it was very beneficial for Tampa to have him off the ice for 9 minutes. But anyway, in the long run, it didn't matter. But in the time, I was cursing it so much. Then Ryan O'Reilly evens it up, and I am screaming. It's 3 a.m. and I have a lot of neighbours, and I am like shouting and screaming. I was so excited. However, it then quickly set in that, like, oh, we're going to overtime when it's already 3 a.m. and there's like a full intermission, and then it's not like 5 minutes of overtime, it's a full period. And I'm thinking, oh no. Oh no, my fears are coming true. So to overtime we go, and I'm sitting there watching it, and Tampa were by far the better team in it, and I'm thinking there's no way we're gonna score in this. There's just not a single chance. How wrong was I? I was so glad to be wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was still up at a ridiculous time, but by the time it's 3:30, you're kind of getting a little pessimistic, and you're like, please just let this end. However, Morgan Riley, overtime winner. So exciting. And the Leafs now lead the series, which is just, I didn't see that coming last night. So the Leafs got lucky on some stuff. They definitely actually were able to catch a break last night, which was nice given that game 1 was so not in their favour. But my thoughts on the game, obviously I loved it because tense, overtime winner, very dramatic. However, I'm really surprised that the Leafs actually won, because Tampa were out shooting them the whole game. Tampa were the better team. There was periods of time where the Leafs weren't even getting out the zone, and they certainly weren't taking shots, and the shots they were taking were few and far between and weren't very good. So the fact they won that, I saw going to overtime as just a bonus, because to be honest, watching it, I thought they were going to lose. They were good in the first. The first was like, okay. The second period was probably one of the most lackluster performances I've seen from the Leafs in a while, and I was very disappointed. And then obviously the third made up for it, because the third was sheer chaos. But I was so thankful the Leafs won that. I feel like I can breathe a little for the next game now, because I predicted Leafs in 6, right? And we always knew it was going to be a slightly harder task being in Tampa. And because they won that one last night, I'm kind of like, we can relax a little for the next game. Don't get me wrong, it would be a million times better if they take the next one. But all I wanted was for them to win one of the 2 in Tampa. That's all I wanted. And we got that last night, which I'm very thankful, and I'm on cloud 9 today, and I'm also not tired, which I'm suspicious of, and I also feel like it means I might crash and burn later tonight. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm very excited. I am so ready to get hurt again, because I'm believing that they can do something this year, and you know, if I get hurt again, I get hurt again. So be it. So those are all my thoughts about game 3. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, and I'll be back with more post-game thoughts after game 4. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll be back soon with more hockey chats from across the pond. I almost forgot my own outro there, I won't lie. Like, I did actually nearly forget my own outro that I've been using since I started this channel a year and a bit ago. So anyway, also I love the fact I'm on like a wheelie chair, and I just feel like it adds like oomph, because I can kind of like spin. Okay, I'm actually going now. Bye guys.